Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of TheBearShareShow. This is your host, Andre Matoyer, and today we're going to talk about the behind-the-scenes look of what it's like to work inside of the bear nightlife scene. With this being Pride Month now, June 2021, and COVID starting to die down, people getting vaccinated, I figured why not have a closer look as to what goes on every day behind the scenes when it comes to going out to the bars and what it takes to make that what it is for people. When it comes to going back out there, remember, please be safe. And then if you want to know more about what is going on in the bear scene for at least the rest of the backside of 2021, then feel free to check out my previous episode 8, where my friend Will and I go into more detail about those specific events. But for today's episode, I am fortunate to have one of my good friends on with me. He is someone who knows a lot about the nightlife scene, and that is my good friend, Mr. Randy Pulley. Randy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks for taking the time to come on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to chatting about this.
And I appreciate it. So, Randy, where are you from? Where do you live right now?
I live in Denver, Colorado right now.
How long have you lived there?
I lived here about 11 years now.
11 years?
Yep. I'm originally from Tennessee, so.
You've been in Denver for 11 years, but have you worked in nightlife the whole time?
Pretty much. Like, when I moved out here, I kind of started in, like, the bottom of the barrel, kind of doing the fill-in. Like, filling in everywhere I needed to fill in, and then I just kind of worked my way up through wherever they needed me, and then got to bartending.
So like, what do you mean by whatever you filled in? So what kind of work was that?
So I started working at the Wrangler, which RIP to the Wrangler.
I know, I never got a chance to see it. I'm super bummed about that.
Yeah, so I started out like just working like random little things, because they would do like a casino night, and I would like work the casino chips, like giving people their chips and everything, or I would work like coat check or close check or something like that.
Okay. And just to clarify, Wrangler was the bear bar there, right?
Yes, it was the bear bar here, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then did you have to get like a bartending license to become a bartender, or did they just kind of let you do it after you worked there for a while?
They just kind of put me in there and showed me how to do it, and then said, have at it, pretty much.
Okay. Right on. When did the Wrangler close?
I want to say 20. It's been a few years. I'm not actually sure the exact date, honestly.
Okay.
It's been a while though.
Okay. And then did you stay there the whole time until they closed, or did you leave before that and go somewhere else?
I stayed until probably like a month before they closed, and then I left and went somewhere else.
Where are you at now?
I'm at a bar called Trade now.
Trade for me. Trade,
yeah.
Sorry. So you've been at Trade since Wrangler closed, and then what do you do at Trade? I think is that where I met you? Was Trade, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you met me at Trade. So when you met me at Trade, I was just kind of doing the same thing I did at Wrangler, just kind of filling in.
Okay.
But they had asked me during that weekend to go dance and everything, and then I worked a little while as a bartender, and then I quit for a little bit and like went into the restaurant industry, and then came back right before COVID hit.
Oh.
So
okay. With Trade, let's just do pre-COVID first, and then we can kind of compare it to what you've been seeing lately. But what would a typical night be like for you working in the bear nightlife scene?
Really, it just kind of varied on like whether we were doing like an underwear night or a pup night or just a bear dance night or whatever, because I would always do either go dancing or be bartending, so it kind of just depended on what night it was, or if it was snowing or whatever the weather does here. So
yeah, because you guys get all types of weather, so it's not always hot. Like, I'm used to Phoenix and California weather when I go out and visit there, and it's always pretty good weather, but you guys have to worry about when it gets cold. So, and Trade's outside partially too. It's not all inside.
Yeah, it's a smaller building, so the patio helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So describe like a busy night. Like, what would you do? How would you handle it?
Busy nights, I mean, you just have, I mean, busier nights, it can be a little stressful, but you just kind of roll with the punches and keep going and have fun, pretty much.
Okay. Like any, let's see, like how are the patrons?
I mean, I've never had a huge issue with any patrons at trade. They all seem to like me, and I try to be as nice as I can to everybody I meet. So,
Okay. Do you make tips only as a bartender, or can you make tips like in other ways?
yeah, I mean, we do tip share now, so like we pool our tips. But yeah, you can make them as a bartender, bar back,
Okay.
go-go dancers, whatever.
Yeah. Go-go dancing. So I've done some go-go dancing too, and I met you go-go dancing, which is it can be fun. It's a little nerve-wracking at first, but like honestly, it can be a lot of fun. So, like you said, you've been filling in for since you were at Wrangler days and you were at trade. So like, describe go-go dancing. Like, when did you start doing that, and what got you into it?
It really just happened out of a whim. They asked me at Wrangler one night if I would be interested in doing it, and I'm like, sure.
Hmm.
It took a lot of liquid courage to do it, but I did it for the first time. But
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna be anything after, but it wound up that it
Okay.
just kind of started as a more of a regular thing for me.
They were like, "Oh, hey, we can, you know,
Yeah,
he's cute.
they
We
actually
can
like
do it again."
me. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
they actually like me. So
Oh, they like me. They really like me.
yeah, pretty much.
Um, so how did it work in the bar? Like, were there multiple people? Did you guys have like a rotation system, or like how does it work when it comes to go-go dancing for you?
Um, that's how we just kind of started out with. There was five of us, and then
Okay.
it was more like, I guess, an audition thing, and they narrowed it down to like the main ones, and it was kind of like a 15 on, 15 off. Just rotate to each spot on the dance floor, and
Wait,
that
so you had
and
to audition?
that's pretty much, yeah. I mean, I guess that's what it was, because there wasn't five of us after that night.
So you danced without realizing it was an audition to continue dancing.
Pretty much, I guess so. I made it to the next round.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, okay. So then they cut it down, you said from like five to three, and then it
Yeah,
was basically those same three pretty much every time.
yeah, the house dancers, yeah.
Okay. And like, so 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. That makes sense. That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes. Um, and then, like, when you weren't dancing, were you expected to do other stuff too? Or is it just like, okay, it's your dancing night, just dance and
Yeah,
mingle?
that's pretty much what we had to do, just dance and mingle and
Okay.
not get too drunk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You definitely don't want to. One, for like hydration reasons, and also because you don't want to be sloppy when you're working.
Yeah, cause
That's,
I've fallen off of a few boxes a couple times.
oh my God.
So
From you being drunk, or just because, you tripped or something?
a mixture of both. I'm
Okay.
clumsy. I'm clumsy in general. So
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I go danced one time in Phoenix, which at this bar that sadly no longer exists. It was only around for a short time. This is like a couple years ago. And they didn't really have a plan about how they wanted to go dance. So they kind of asked me super last minute, but they're like, "We'll pay you X amount. Please come. We need someone." I was like, "Okay, thanks for thinking of me. Whatever." So they gave me a box, but like it wasn't stable. It was like super last minute, and I like almost tripped and fell and like fell through the box. And I got to the point where they were like, "All right, no one's allowed to stand on this. Just go dance in the corner." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So, just some like creeper dude in the corner. It was funny. So I totally get it. Like those boxes can be dangerous if you're not paying attention, for sure.
yes, I've had many of unstable boxes and missed a step on the stage and fall off of it. So
Oh my god. Hey, they just feel bad for you. They just give you more money.
that's right. After they helped me up off the floor.
So I mean, I've only go danced like maybe a handful of times. Nothing crazy. You've obviously done it a lot more. Actually, have you done it in Phoenix before? I could have sworn I've seen you here before.
Yeah, when I was dancing for the Wrangler, we came down twice for the Phoenix Pride, and we danced at Stacy's.
Stacy's, yes. Okay, I think I met you at Stacy's before I actually officially met you in Denver, because you looked kind of familiar, but that's where it
Uh,
was then. That makes
yeah,
sense.
I mean, if I met you, I probably didn't remember at that time. So,
Yeah, and I again, like, I don't even know if we like actually talked, but I remember like, oh, I think I maybe said hi to you once
yeah.
beforehand, but yeah. So that makes sense. Okay, so it was Stacy's. So go-go dancing, like, are there anything that you find to be like a big pet peeve, or like something that like you wish people would know? Hey, do this, not do this, tip more. I don't know. What are some things that you wish people would know to do with go-go dancers?
I mean, obviously the job is to, flirt and everything, but
Yeah,
sometimes people take it a little too far, and it's just one of those things like I don't want to flirt with you for just for $1 for you to try to make out with me for $1, and it's just like
yeah,
certain people don't like certain boundaries, and I'm sure everybody's different than me, but like I try not to cross a certain boundary to where the person giving me the tip isn't getting the wrong idea, and I don't want to try to give off the wrong idea of it. So
yeah,
it's more or less like I want to have fun with you, not like actually have fun with you. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's flirtatious fun, right? Like you're there
Yeah,
to get $1. Like,
yeah. I mean, I've
yeah.
seen people do a lot of crazy things for $1, and it's like you can do that if you want, but I'm not going to.
True. I guess it depends. Like, if you had an issue, could you rely on the bouncers to help with that? If there was
Yeah,
ever an issue?
I
Okay.
there was at one point I'm using air quotes, but like I had a stalker at one point, and they kind of took care of it for me for a little. They kind of like escorted me out. So
Oh, wow. That's freaky.
yeah, I used to tell them if I wind up on CSI or something, you know where to find me.
Oh, my
So
God. And then, well, he stopped coming around, obviously. That's good.
yeah, they basically 86'd him and everything, and
Yeah.
always they like always made sure like after dancing and stuff that I got home safe or whatever. So
Was this at the Wrangler or trade?
it was at Wrangler.
Okay. Well, that's good. They had your back. That's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
it's always nice to know that they're making me feel safe.
Yeah. So, you've worked in nightlife for a while. Is this
Yeah.
something that you see yourself doing, like, continually, or do you want to stay doing nightlife, or what else do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I do really enjoy working in it, but like my initial goal, hopefully, like when I'm older, is to like have my own bar and kind of run it from behind the scenes. So
Okay.
like I kind of want to be in the nightlife, but not in the nightlife, if that makes sense.
You want to be like in the office, the
Yeah.
managerial.
If they need me to help, I'll come help them. So
Okay. Right on. And I can see you doing that. Like, you know enough about the business, so
yeah, that's like my initial like what I want to do.
good. So we hung out when COVID was still happening. I was out there for work. Things were pretty closed.
Yeah.
And I remember you were struggling a bit, but I'm glad you were able to pull through, and I'm glad that
Yeah.
the bars are reopening now. So that's good. Now that things are reopening, I know we talked the other day, and you said Trade had like a really really busy night. I think last weekend. Oh, last weekend was Memorial Day weekend, so that makes sense. How have you noticed things like? How do they compare before versus after the pandemic?
I honestly, I just before the pandemic, it seemed like it seemed like people were just coming as like it was a routine for them, kind of. And now that things are reopening, and I'm using like the air quotes of since the pandemic's over, people seem more happy and like they want to be out. They're enjoying like dancing and being able to live their life and be themselves again and not have
Yeah.
to rely on like video chats and everything. So they're actually the physical touch of people and just mingling. I feel like it's a lot better. The atmosphere to me seems a lot better now. So
Like a lot more positive.
yeah, it
Like,
seems like a lot more positive, and nobody's like getting too drunk or getting into fights or arguments. Not saying, knocking on wood, that will change, but as of right
Yeah,
now, everything seems like it's in a turning towards the better.
that's good.
Yeah.
Do you guys like have the same crowds as before, or are they keeping like less people in there, like trying to mitigate crowds, or like
Uh,
has any of that changed at all, or no?
well, I mean, as far as we've known, since like all the restrictions are gone, like everything is open to capacity. Like you don't have,
Okay.
yeah. As far as they're the same crowds as there's a lot of new faces, which is great. Apparently, a lot of people moved here during the pandemic, so
Oh wow.
um, but yeah, it's basically the capacity is the same, and we do have like a little area, so if people feel uncomfortable, they can go outside. So
Okay, so you guys did kind of, okay, so you guys are being accommodating with that, which is
yeah,
good.
we're trying as best as we can. Yeah.
Sure, that's good. I mean, the pandemic is not officially over yet, so but it's getting there. I think everyone needs to get vaccinated.
I
The faster we do that, the faster we can fully go back to normal without freaking out.
I definitely agree. I agree.
Yeah. So, but I will say, so I was able to go out last weekend a little bit. I went out to Palm Springs, and it was the first time since like February of last year where I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, it feels like I'm back. You know what I mean? It feels like I was back to normal and
Yeah.
was able to like see a bunch of friends and like socialize and like actually dance in a group. I mean, I did a little bit of that like when I was at TBRU right when the pandemic started, but like we were all a little on edge because it was like right when things were getting real. But like it had been, I don't know, it was just nice to feel like let loose and be like, all right, we're vaccinated, we're here, we're having a good time, let's do it, and that was a great feeling. So I think we all should remember not to take this stuff lightly. That's probably why everyone was so happy when they came back to the bars in Denver too.
Yeah,
Just
I mean that's kind of how it felt Saturday night. That's when I
yeah,
was working, just seeing everybody dancing and having a good time. It really made it feel like the normalcy's coming back. So
good, 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 good. So that being said, I wanted to ask you about like, do you know of any new bars coming out in the Denver scene? Since you are kind of my Denver expert, since you've been there for a while, any
um
new news there that's going on?
there is a new like bear bar. It's called Sweet. It opened like right around the pandemic. Like
Sweet.
I think they just opened. I think they celebrated their 2 years, so they kind of were new right around when the pandemic started.
Okay.
And then we lost one. We lost the bar too, but there's another one that opened up. It's like a gay sports bar called Tight End. So,
Okay.
but
That's
yeah,
actually really
there's
fitting.
yeah, but there's a there. I mean, and then there's just the regular places. We have a Charlie's here as well.
Yeah.
And then there's X Bar and everything. But yeah, the newest one would be Tight End, and then after that, I think is Sweet. So
Okay. I will be there for Pride this year, which I'm looking
yes,
forward to. So you'll have to come with me. We'll have to check out Sweet. I'm gonna see you at the Barracuda party for sure during Pride, so I'm looking forward to that.
yes.
And we'll have to check out Sweet and Trade for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If anything, before we go to Barracuda, we can go like trade and then the Sweet and then the Barracuda, because I'll be dancing for Barracuda. So
Oh, you're working Barracuda?
yeah,
Okay. All right. Do you have any more that you have planned go dancing after that?
not that I know of, unless trade
Okay.
has something going on. But other than
Okay.
that, I'll probably be working most of the weekend.
And Trade's bringing back the go-go dancers too, at some
Yeah,
point.
just
Okay.
not sure when.
Okay. Okay. So Barracuda's coming up next. That'll be fun. And
Yeah,
with Pride, you always get a lot of out of towners too. And so people would feel more comfortable going out and traveling again. It'll be nice to see not just the Denver faces, but some new people too. I bet.
for sure. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
And
I'm excited.
I think people are more excited. I don't they I mean, honestly, we don't really know what's going to happen for Pride this year, but we know that we're getting a better one than last year. So,
Yeah, which I'm thankful for sure. That's a good point. Where's the Barracuda at?
it's going to be it's at Summit Music Hall. It's down in the middle of Lodo. It's basically
Okay.
it's a concert venue that's in the middle of like the straight bars.
Okay. So okay, because I bought a ticket, but I didn't pay attention to where the venue was. I assumed it was like trade or something, but
No, it's at a
it's not.
concert venue. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, definitely looking forward to that. So, what do you hope to see going forward with the bars and gay nightlife, like in the future?
I just more inclusiveness. Just keep progressing. I mean, honestly, just keep making them safe spaces for people. That's pretty much what I mean, going forward, I want to see is just keeping it inclusive to everybody and keeping it a safe space for us and
Yeah,
everybody else. So,
I agree with that. I have another question for you, and this is something that I've talked about with my friends. And the reason why I asked you earlier about like if you've noticed the crowds, if they've been kind of going up or down, is because some people have been complaining that the crowds have been kind of dying out because less of the younger guys are going out to gay bars because they don't feel like they need to, and there's sort of this fear of gay bars sort of declining or like not being needed. I personally think they will always be needed, but I get what they're saying. But how do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's true, or what do you think?
I'm kind of yes and no with both. I feel like they're needed because you always need somewhere to go. That way you're not if there's like something going on in your life, you have somewhere to go.
The safe space.
Yes, the safe space to go, but with the apps and everything too, I mean, I can see why they're not needed anymore. And the younger crowd is, they don't. I feel like I agree. They don't see the need to go as much as other people used to want to go to them. As
Well, I'm noticing. So the reason why I bring it up is because I taught high school, and I've got to know that generation, that grew up with gay just being more okay, which is great. I mean, that's the whole reason why we've all fought so hard. Why we've had pride and all that is to make gay being more accepted. But because of that, you know, gay people are coming out younger. They're having relationships sooner. It's being more normalized with their straight friends. So you're seeing that a lot of them are going to any bar, not just gay bars, but straight bars.
yeah,
And straight people are going with them to the gay bars. It's kind of becoming all like ubiquitous in a way.
yeah,
And so I don't know. Like some people think, and I've thought about this too. There might just be bars in the future where it's just like anyone's welcome, and you're fine. You know,
yeah.
which is interesting. Like I agree though with the safe space. Like I mean, I know like 10 years ago, if I were to go to a straight bar and hit on a guy, they're probably going to punch you in the face. You
Yeah,
know?
or you're just gonna get beat up for being gay and being
Yeah.
yourself. So,
Yeah, or harassed. Maybe they
yeah,
wouldn't physically attack you, but harassed. But you wouldn't do it because you're in a straight bar. Versus if you're a straight guy going to a gay bar, that probably is going to happen to you because you're in a gay bar. Like chances are, men like other men, women like other women. It's a gay establishment. And that's
yeah,
why it was a safe place. You were able to go there and know that you're going to be fine. I just think it's so interesting now with, I mean, it's a good thing, right? But like, I think
yeah,
it's interesting now with things just being more okay that we're seeing sort of that more like, you know, it's more safe to be yourself everywhere. And so that's making the need for just a gay bar kind of change a little bit,
yeah.
which
Because
is
that's what
interesting.
back to the Barracuda being in the middle of lower down Lodo. Basically, it's the first time he did it there. It was amazing how many all the gays that were down in the middle of downtown where the straight bars are, and I mean nothing happened. Everyone was just, what's going on here? Because they
Yeah.
realized that. And everybody was like, "Oh, that's cool. There's a gay event happening at a concert hall."
Yeah. Well,
So
gays know how to party. So
yeah, and
people are
it's
like, oh, what's going on over there? Yeah, totally.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, I agree. They don't feel the need to just go to gay bars anymore, and just they go wherever they want to go, and they're wherever they feel comfortable. And like you said, they go with their straight friends, and their straight friends go with them. So
Yeah. I've seen a lot more women go to gay bars too.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, part of that. But also, like, I've talked to a few women that go to gay bars, and they feel like it's a safe space for them, too, because they're not being
Hit
hit
on and
on. Yeah. Because, there's creepy people that hit on them, too, right? And so they want to be somewhere where they just want to go out with their friends and not feel like, they're getting attacked or harassed or whistled at or whatever,
yeah.
catcalled. Yeah. Which is obnoxious, but it happens.
It does.
It does. Yeah. So with that, like, I look forward to seeing you soon. I look forward to the Denver Pride, and I really love how the nightlife is coming back in the gay community, and I am excited to hear what other people have to say about that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's only. I mean, I look at it as it's only up from here, so it can't get any worse.
absolutely.
It can't get any worse than last year. So
Yeah, and I think there's always going to be a place for gay bars. I think it's going to be on gay bars too. Like, they always do those fun events, like Monday night, buy one get one, or like Thursday night underwear night, right? Like, that's
yeah,
fun, and that's always just been a part of the community. Like, oh, you want to play bingo? Go on Sunday, right? Like, whatever it is, right? Different bars have their own thing, but I've
yeah,
always thought that was also fun as well. Like, it's not just about getting drunk; it's also just about that sense of community that the bars can offer.
yeah. We're starting all of our events back up and stuff too. Last week was like the first official week that we started doing our events again. So
Okay, like the middle of the week stuff, not just the weekend stuff.
yeah.
Okay. What's the most popular middle of the week event that you have?
Usually, I feel usually it's underwear night, and then close second is show tunes.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, gays love their show tunes. It's
Yeah,
like almost like group karaoke
that's
at
pretty
that
much.
point.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
That's cute. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't work that night, but it's definitely a popular night.
That's good. And you know what? It all stimulates the economy, gets everyone back out there. It's great. And that's awesome. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to seeing everyone come back out, and that's good. I know in Arizona we've been open for a while, and it's feeling like it's back to like 2019 levels again. So I just hope
yeah,
everyone's being safe, but it's all you can do is wish and get your vaccinations. So
uh, that's exactly right. Just trust
yeah.
everybody's doing what they got to do.
Well, thank you so much, Randy, for taking the time to talk with me today. I really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thanks for having me. Anytime you want me back on for something else, I'm totally down.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that was a pretty insightful conversation about sort of the nightlife. And for those listening, again, check out my previous episode if you want to know what events are happening. Also, take a look at your city and see what's going on there. And then if you have your own experiences in the bear nightlife or want to share what you've been seeing, I would love to hear about it. So you can always reach me at TheBearShareShow@gmail.com. You can follow me at TheBearShareShow on Instagram. And also, please follow The Bear Share Show on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. It helps out the channel a lot, and it helps out the podcast a lot. So I would really appreciate it if you do. And then if you are a YouTube person, you can also find The Bear Share Show on YouTube and Facebook as well. So tons of places you can find me at The Bear Share Show. And Randy, once again, it's been a pleasure, and I'm sure I'll have you on again at some point in the future. So,
I look forward to it for sure.
all right. Well, thanks, Randy. Have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.